Well, I was having a problem over here with the way it's operating. And first of all, it's crapping out every 2 seconds. So I have a feeling that fuel valve is clogged again. But here's my real problem. When I put the tire inside, I didn't realize this is rubbing the cylinder on the engine. On this side, I got clearance of about a 1/2 inch, which, wow, that's tight. But on this other side, I don't. And I'm just wondering, like, what is the deal with this axle on this mower? It doesn't seem as wide as most are. And obviously I'm going to have to flip this wheel back around the other way again, but I think I got to take a tape measure and measure this axle width compared to some of my other mowers. Maybe this isn't from a 50-inch. I don't know what the deal is, but it just seems like the axle width is not as wide as I'm used to. So let's come back to that. Well, here's the axle on my commercial 12, and it goes pretty much, the wheel is exactly where the edge of the mower deck is. And if I come around to this side, it's just a hair inside the chute. So let's see where that compares. Well, it's a little more than a hair inside the chute on this side. And if I come over here, it's about, I don't know, an inch or two in from where it was on the commercial 12. I got to get the tape measure now and see what the heck is cooking here. This is weird. Well, I got this other red deck here, and I just measured that. That was on an 8000 series rider. And the width between those wheels is 50.5 inches from outside to outside. So let's see where the stupid where the 450 is. Ah, interesting. This one from outside to outside is only about 46 inches. So why is that is the question. Did they change the design of this axle at some point in time? Or did somehow this axle come off like a 40-inch deck? But I find it hard to believe that a 40-inch deck would have a 6-inch overhang on the wheels. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But this has got me baffled here. It really does. I really don't get why it's behaving like that, you know? So anyways, I'm going to take this deck off, and I don't know if I should just swap over the wheels from that other deck. Maybe that's the right solution, is that I'll just swap over that whole, you know, back axle there or something. But really strange. Well, let's take a look at this deck. This is kind of a parts deck, but this is on this 8162T, and this deck is a total POS. So if there's ever a donor for that axle, it's from this deck. And you notice that the wheel on here is on the setup for outside. And let me just see this other wheel on the other side. Yep, that's set up for outside. So let's measure the width of this one if we can. It's kind of hard to get a tape measure through here. Let's see. Okay, it's hooked on that other wheel. Yeah, and this one has the same thing. It's about 50.5 inches. So for some reason that other deck has like the wrong axle on it or something. And you know, I'm thinking what I probably should do is just remove this deck from here. And this deck actually has all kinds of weird patches on it and stuff. Let me see if I can point this out. We got a piece of mud flap down here, but this section here looks like it's weird. Well, maybe it's just a newer style cradle, but this one has, you know, the 3/4 inch, sorry, the 1/2 inch bolts that go through it instead of the 9/16. But I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, yank this deck off of this tractor and see if we can't just switch that axle over onto the 450. But wow, this is so weird, you know, it's just so weird. I don't get it. And yeah, I'm lucky I didn't pop the back tire on the 450 because the stupid wheel is rubbing the bolt that holds the tin onto the cylinder head. It's like a 1/4 inch bolt head on there, and it's rubbing the rubber on the tire. I'm surprised lucky it didn't break something, but luckily I only made 1.5 passes on the lawn. But the thing was like starving for fuel, and I just have a bad feeling that that valve in the bottom of the tank is clogged up again, which would really suck. I was having a hard time driving the tractor across the lawn before I even had the PTO engaged. It crapped out twice going about 200 feet. And when I had it running the other day, it would run like no problem. I had it running about 10 minutes. It never starved for fuel once. I haven't changed any settings on the carb or anything, so it's just really frustrating. You know how that goes sometimes, but that's how tractors are. They're temperamental. All right, so I flip-flopped the wheels back out, and I got 42 inches from the outside of one wheel to the outside of the other. I went back there and measured the wheels on the 8162T Onan, and that is also 42 inches. So I think if I swap my axles here, I should be perfect. So I guess that'll be a project for next time because I'm out of energy for today.